So bit of a change around today. So we're going live earlier, going live at 12 instead of 1. So welcome to you that you've all managed to jump on live today. Drop a hey in the comments if you are here live. Hey Kelly, say hi in the comments there if you're here live. And I don't know about you, but I've had, oh hi Sam, lovely to see you. I'm glad you all got the message, because I've had some, I don't know about you, but I've had some real problems with posted on Facebook today. So I'm hoping that this is all going out live. Hi Nancy. So if you are here live, drop a hey in the comments. And if you're catching up on replay, just put a hashtag replay. Hi Katie, lovely to see you. So today, this one, I'm just going to ask you a quick question. Have you ever heard yourself saying that I'm over my head, someone is going to find out about me, or I feel like a fraud? So you hear these things going on, or maybe you've had a promotion, but you still just cannot believe that they've actually given the job to you. So drop me a note if any of that, if you've ever felt that at all. Hi Sam, hey Kelly, so lovely to have you here. So pop it in if you've ever had that happen. And like I said, let me know if there's any problems, because I have been having trouble with this today. Hi Michelle. So feeling like an imposter is what I'm talking about, and it can really affect your self-esteem. Brilliant. Yeah, it happens all the time, and I am seeing it as a coach at the moment. I am seeing imposter syndrome more and more, as if it's kind of the one thing that's really stopping women moving forward right now. And I say women because I obviously coach women, but I'm seeing it more and more in women, and it's in successful women as well. So it really makes you rethink all your decisions, and it lowers your confidence, and it absolutely limits your success. And like I said, it's stopping you from moving forward. So today I'm going to just give you 3 simple tips to overcome it right now for you. It's really going to help you as long as you take the action that I'm going to say. So Michelle said that she's had it loads of times. If anybody else experiences it, just pop a note in the comments there. So first of all, let me just tell you a little bit about my own background. And my background was in HR. So I was a HR director for very many years in the corporate world. And for me, I tended to overwork, be a people pleaser, constantly feeling as if I actually shouldn't be where I was, that my peers were better than me and deserved it more than me. What the heck was I even doing? And if I had to present at board level, I would get these feelings in the pit of my stomach, just thinking what I had to do. And then I would put so much pressure on myself, preparing over and over. And that's the only way that I could actually get through it at that time, was to just kind of overdo everything, because I thought that actually if I didn't do that, I didn't trust myself enough to actually be able to do it. Even though I'd obviously been doing the job for a long time, I still actually felt that. And that if I did a presentation, for instance, and then people would kind of say, that was really good, I really enjoyed it, got a lot from it, I'd actually be then kind of going through it, kind of going, oh, they only said that to be nice, or that they, that it wasn't worthy of that. And actually I'd ignore their comments, even if there was lots of comments, and just focus on what I then picked up as the negatives. And then I'd kind of be going, oh, phew, I kind of got away with it again. I hadn't been caught out that time. So just let me know if that's anything that you've ever experienced yourself. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Tiffany. let me know. And it also became, when I then became, a coach, and I was doing that, I was afraid to be visible and get out there, because, the same feelings would actually come up for that. How would anybody think I was the expert, even though all of the evidence was to the contrary? I've got lots of testimonials from people of, the lives that I've trained through the coaching and the training. So I got that, but I didn't believe any of it. And, just let me know as we go through if any of this is resonating with you, or if you've got any questions as well, pop them in, and I'll answer those too. But the first thing I know now about imposter syndrome, hi Claire, is that it's not down to intellect or, anything like this. Anyone can have this. And actually there was a study, a research project that was actually done in the, let's have a look at a comment. Yeah, so Charlotte, you're feeling this, but actually when we expose ourselves, it's when we grow. We have to accept we don't need to be liked. It won't let me see any more of the comment, unfortunately, but I'll pick that up later as well. We absolutely do. I know that this is the only way that we can actually grow. The problem is that, as these experts actually found out, often the people that have got all of the successful awards, the accolades, the qualifications, but they had it all, but what was on the outside wasn't matching what they were in the inside. So they would have high levels of kind of perfectionism. They felt like a fraud and that they were going to be found out. Hi Naomi. Hi Anton, nice to see you here. So, the things that you could see, so what we could see of people, that wasn't what they were feeling inside. And it got to the point that, when they did this research, these people they had this high level of perfectionism, and it was really important that they got things perfect. They were very self-critical, and so worried about almost criticizing others that they didn't realize that they were their own biggest critics themselves. And what this does to us, it makes us live in this world of anxiety and fear. And self-doubt. So even when we then get the compliments, they wouldn't focus on the compliments. They would pick the one mistake or something, or pick on the one thing that they thought that they'd done. And they find that and I know that it was with me, that you put an awful lot of pressure on yourself to actually achieve, and we don't take praise very easily on that. And it's actually estimated that there's around 70% of people that will suffer with imposter syndrome at some point. So who out of everybody that's here now, who has had imposter syndrome, who would actually benefit from some tips that I can give you today to help you today to move this forward? Just let me know in the comments. Because the interesting thing here is that the most successful people are the ones that, actually suffer with it the most. The irony of it. So, there's not many comments. I've got Katie's yet. Brilliant. They're not actually all coming through. So, let's just put all our hands up if we're successful, because that's exactly what we are. We must be successful if we're actually suffering with this. It's often these entrepreneurs and those, putting themselves out there. So you look at it that so many people, like, you've got your actors, public figures that have come out to say that this is something that they suffer with. So you've got Tom Hanks, you've got Emma Watson, Kate Winslet, Meryl Streep. I mean, bizarre really. You'd never think for a minute that those sorts of people would actually have something like this. You would think it'd be quite obvious that they thought that they were successful, because we think that they're successful. And actually the irony of it, or the nature of this kind of issue is that external success almost heightens the effect. So as the sufferer, you know, if you can call it, you know, we're suffering with a problem, as the sufferer believes, you know, they're ramping up kind of thing, that they still believe that they're actually still playing a trick on everyone, that they're not really that, which just, you know, I'm just pretending to be successful, you know. So, you know, that's the kind of the irony of it. The more and more successful we go, the more we think we're actually tricking people, that it's not actually down to our talents. And in fact, Emma Watson actually said the more that she accomplishes, the more the feelings of inadequacy actually increase. So, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? So, and then because of this kind of perfectionism, we're also quite afraid to show some vulnerability. You know, admit that, you know, that we're not doing everything perfect, because, you know, admit that we're nervous about doing something, even if it's something for the first time. You know, when we're afraid to actually go out and say that, in case somebody goes, oh gosh, if they're doing that for the first time, they're not whatever. So we do put a lot of, you know, pressure on ourselves. So if any of this is resonating with you, just give me a sign, give me a heart or whatever, if you would like to have 3 tips that are going to make such a difference to you now. They really are going to make a difference to you. So give me a heart or give me a comment if you would like to know what these 3 tips are. And just let me know. Brilliant, great, let's get these coming through. So the first thing is, tip number 1, that the only difference, let's just get this coming up. So Charlotte there, I think as a coach there is an internal perception that we need to have our lives together, but showing the human side. Again, I can't see the rest of it, but yeah, absolutely. And it becomes, it really is more relevant. If you kind of know this stuff, we almost feel an additional pressure that actually, you know, if we can't have anything wrong because we know it, we know the techniques, and it doesn't happen like that. It really doesn't happen like that. And so, right, so the tips are, the first thing, number 1 tip is the only difference, and this is the only difference between someone with imposter syndrome and someone that doesn't have imposter syndrome, is that they think different thoughts. You know, which actually for us is absolutely great, isn't it? Because all we need to do is think like a non-imposter. You know? So no one likes to fail or struggle. Nobody wants that. The difference is that people with imposter syndrome, those people with, you know, that really, when it happens to imposters, if you like, us that do that, we feel shame with it. Now, when I was in that kind of that big corporate job, you know, maybe I wasn't as intellectual as some of them, maybe, but it's actually okay. You know, the non-imposters know it's actually okay to not be great at everything. The problem with us, the problem with imposters is we pay too much attention to the stuff that's going on in our head, to the voice that's in our head. We pay way too much attention to it. So we actually need to be aware of it so that we can actually reframe it. To stop feeling like an imposter, you have to stop thinking like an imposter. And that means to absolutely kill those negative thoughts. You have to learn to be aware of your self-talk, the thoughts that you have about yourself and what you're doing. And then you're going to run a new script. You know, that script, that automatic tape that just keeps playing, you know, it acts like the trigger in these situations. So when you start a new job or a new project, instead of thinking, for example, you know, God, wait till they find out that I have no idea what I'm doing, just flip it and think differently. So actually think to yourself. So kind of, you know, push that thought to one side and actually go. say to yourself, everyone who starts something new is nervous in the beginning. And I may not know all the answers now, but I'm absolutely smart enough to go and find out. So reframe it, run a new script to yourself. The next one there, hi Nicola, nice to see you. The next one is that the brain doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. It doesn't know that. So when you're doing something, where your confidence is a bit shaky, you have to say to yourself, I'm excited. Just keep on saying it to yourself, I'm excited. Now, you won't believe that at first, probably, but you also don't have to feel, that you don't have to feel confident to act confident. You can just say, I am that. And the more and more you believe that, and the more and more you keep saying that, then you are reframing yourself to overcome it. So come from a position of curiosity here. So, think about it. I'm feeling like this. What can I do different? So anxiety, for instance, when you've got the anxiety and the fear, you've got that feeling of speed and maybe speaking quickly. Now excitement can feel the same. So it's very, very similar. So just flip it. So when you notice that I'm feeling this, so, I'm feeling anxious, how else can I think about this? And maybe I could think about excitement and then change it to that. So it literally is just a flip of the switch there. And actually separate your feelings from fact there. There's going to be times that you're going to feel stupid, for instance. It happens to all of us from time to time. But just realise that just because you may feel stupid, it doesn't mean you are stupid. So just separate those two out. And the third one there is about visualising success. Do what professional athletes do. Spend time beforehand picturing yourself making that successful presentation or calmly posing your questions. It really does beat, the whole picture that you've got running through your head of, impending disaster or whatever. So picture what you want to happen, and run it through. So this, imposter syndrome is just one of the areas that I help women with in my new Mega Success Mindset Accelerator program that's coming in June. And I'm so excited about it. It's a group program of like-minded, fabulous women all looking for rapid transformation. And it's got lots of hand-holding for me because, for me, I know how lonely it can be being an entrepreneur, feeling like you've got to do it all yourself. And that's when we start doing all of this comparison and, comparing ourselves to other people, for instance. So, there's a lot of help. There's going to be tons and tons and tons of support in this program. And there's limited places because I only want a small select group of like-minded women on that program. So drop me a note if you'd like to go on the wait list. I'll be releasing that program next week, so you'll have all of the details then. So drop me a note now if you want to get on the wait list and get £100 off as we do it. So, and it's really great value. This one is really great value. So it's not, thousands and thousands of pounds for you here. This is going to be great value for it. 6 weeks of rapid transformation. And if you haven't downloaded my free Mega Success and Abundance Mindset meditation yet, then what are you waiting for? I'll pop the link in the comments so that you can do that. It's absolutely fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed today's session. Please just comment with your biggest takeaway and share it with, share this live with anyone else that you think would benefit from these really simple tips. And let me know how you get on as well, and which one you found was the one that you've resonated the most with, and the one that you could actually pop into play today to get you moving out of this state. Have a lovely, lovely week. lovely weekend, and I'll catch you again next Thursday, back to the usual time of 1 o'clock. Bye for now.